Hello beautiful bookworms, welcome back to Squirrel's Bookshelf. I'm Jess, head squirrel, and today you're in for a library update. I know I haven't done a video for a couple of weeks, and that's because I have just submitted my application for indefinite leave to remain in the UK, otherwise known as permanent residency. I won't yet be a British citizen. That will be another year after I get ILR approval, because the UK just drags it out as long as possible. But luckily there is an agreement between the US and the UK such that I will be able to have dual citizenship. So I'm definitely going to do that, but the indefinite leave to remain is the important one because that just ensures this life I have built up over here with my husband and our house and my job and everything will be secure for the rest of my life. So I will be very happy once that has been approved. But whilst I was working on that, I have also made a few updates to the library room, and so I thought I'd take you for a tour. I also recently got myself a gimbal for my camera, mainly because I am hoping to do some literary-based travel videos in the future, but I thought I'd use today as an opportunity to practice. But before we get into the tour, it's funny, I've been reflecting on how much this room has changed, and the whole house, frankly, since we moved in almost 2.5 years ago. And I do go back occasionally and watch the vlogs I made about making this library and the whole 4 or 5 month process. Although, of course, it's actually just ongoing, which is what this video is all about. It really is just something I have dreamed of being able to do my whole life. I've loved creating spaces, but finally, having been fortunate enough to buy our own house, you really can do whatever you want with it. But while I have done some other fun and potentially ridiculous decorating projects in other rooms of the house, for instance, a slightly foresty, legendy themed living room, complete with a King Arthur tapestry we bought in Bruges, Belgium, handcrafted weapons from the Tewkesbury Medieval Fair, and my own Art Nouveau paint detailing. Because why not? A stripy, early 20th century vibe entrance hall. And no, this is not wallpaper as many have asked, this is all paint. And even a flat for my dog Marley. With more decor in progress. None of those have been nearly as labor intensive as my library. But the library will never be complete.
Not as long as there is imagination in my brain.
And if you got that reference, you are very much in the right place. Also, as I acquire more books, naturally things get shifted and reorganized. Oh, and something I noticed while watching my previous vlogs, there were so many furniture pieces that sort of came in and out that I had plans to sell. I have sold none of them. They have just all found nice new little homes in the rest of the house, which I'm actually really happy with because I don't really want to be wasteful. So, what has changed? Let's go. So first things first, and I apologize for it being a bit dark, but I have curtains. These are just cheap Ikea curtains, but I wanted to get some curtains in here for 2 main reasons. One, to help control the lighting when I am filming, although the lighting is still something I'm struggling with in this room, and I'm still working out some options. It's just a dark room. So I found being able to close the curtains and control my lighting helps a little bit. But in addition, while we do have a guest room, sometimes we have multiple guests staying over, and so we throw an air mattress in here, plop it on the floor, and this becomes a second guest room. So of course the curtains are great for a bit of privacy. You may also probably notice that the green chair is back. I have been using it for the last few videos. The green chair temporarily moved down to the living room because we got a new sofa down there, and this chair matched the sofa perfectly, so we put it next to it, but we found a new and better chair now, which I actually bought to use in the library, but that one looked better in the living room, so the green chair came back up here. So this is my reading chair and filming chair and lots of things chair. Now, all of my books have shifted a little bit, but not too much over time. The biggest difference you might notice is that I used to have, ooh, that's a bit bright. My gimbal has a light, so I'm trying to adjust as I go. Like I said, experimenting. The main thing you might notice is that I used to have a display shelf where I had the Disney storybook replicas from the Disney store and all of my Beauty and the Beast, Cogsworth, Lumiere, Mrs. Potts, all of them displayed. I have been looking for a better place to display all of those anyway, so those have been moved downstairs. So what that meant for my Disney bookcase is that I basically just got more room and could reorganize the books that weren't fitting in anymore. Luckily for me, I've got an entire empty shelf at the bottom, so I can continue on my collecting journey. The other thing that has moved on the bookshelves is I used to have a set of book and magazine collector magazines, which were along the bottom shelf all the way across. I have moved those now here. That's the little bookcase to the right of my desk. And I'll give you a better view in a second, but there is something else that I have been looking for a nice display spot for some time. I bought this from a little old-fashioned toy shop in London in Covent Garden. It is this lovely little paper Victorian theatre set. And it is actually a functional children's toy. There are different set pieces you can switch out, there are different characters that can come in and out, and it came with a short Cinderella script. All of those are sort of hidden under the theater, but I have been looking for a spot for this for ages, and so I'm thrilled to have a nice little position there. And there are some other new things right next to this bookshelf. I've put these two little Ikea shelves up here, just like the ones I have above my desk, and these have been really great for displaying things like programs and magazines and other large format things that are just nicer facing forward. I still have some thinner shelves on my bookshelves to lay things flat where I want them to be more preserved, but if there are some things that can handle being faced forward, this was just a great spot. I am someone who just really loves to maximize the space I have, and I had that little section of wall that I knew I could do something with, but I couldn't do very much because I've got a storage cabinet that still has to be able to open, and those little shelves were literally just perfect. So the next addition is something that is functional that I am currently using, but as I mentioned, I am working on improving the lighting in this room because unfortunately it is quite a dark room, and that's not something I really anticipated when I was preparing it to double as a filming studio. So above my desk on the wall, just above that little shelf I made in the last update video, I have this film light. Handy husband made me a bespoke wooden wall mount, and I painted it with the same varnish as everything else so it could be as discreet as possible amongst the decor. But because I am so proud of how this room has turned out, from the standpoint of actually existing in the space, I really wanted something that could be fairly inconspicuous, that didn't require pulling out a bunch of photography lights and spending an hour setting them up every time I wanted to film. I can tell you that was one reason why I was far less reliable in the past with actually making and uploading videos, because it just took so much time setting up every single video. Whereas now all I have to do is set up the tripod, pull up a chair, and turn the light on, and start filming. So this little light has been a massive help. It is also a fantastic filming light in general that you can change so many settings on it, and for Halloween I can even make it into a colored light and have a lot of fun because I throw some epic Halloween parties. I also got a kneeling chair that can simply roll out when I need to work and then roll back under when I'm done. So I have a couple more things to show you, and these are by far the things I am the most excited about. It would be a bit difficult to try to show you one at a time, so I'm going to just point you in the direction. Dun, 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 dun. So my husband bought me this gorgeous hot air balloon for Christmas after I spotted it in a shop window in Gloucester and squirrel squeaked at it. Just in case you were wondering what a squirrel squeak sounded like. Editing just out. We're contemplating adding a little pulley system so I can lower it when I'm sitting at my desk and use the basket for little supplies or something. Then next to it, I hung my little Da Vinci flying man, which made an appearance in my third vlog video, but then promptly fell down and has been homeless ever since, until now. Then above my door, I have made and installed a new shelf using the same process as the shelf just above my desk, but on this one I have displayed my collection of Harry Potter prop replica books, another collection for which I have been wanting a better display option. I have also placed a few of my other wizarding props around the books and hung my Luna Lovegood shoes and necklace. That's everything new, so here's an updated look at it all put together. my gimbal's run out of battery. So I suppose that means I should wrap up. It's all really taking shape now. I mean, I thought I was happy with it back when I did part 3, 4, and I was, but I always just want to add and improve and make it an even more magical space. And I'm really, really pleased that I now have proper display areas for my Harry Potter prop replica books and my Disney storybook replica books. Now, because I have moved some of my Harry Potter stuff up to that top shelf, I did have to reorganize the magical cabinet behind me. So if you want to glance at my full Harry Potter collection, I'm going to make a short video following this. So keep an eye out for that. It'll also be posted as a reel on my Instagram at SquirrelyNerdyJess. I also have an Instagram account dedicated to my wizarding props with information on each item if you are a fellow Potterhead. That one's at Magical Prop Reference, and I'll upload the video of my collection there as well. As far as the next plans for this library, I essentially want to do what I did over the door with the space above my curtain rail in between the 2 bookcases. Again, I have wall space that isn't being used, and I cannot have that. So that will be another decorative shelf of some kind. I don't know what yet, but it will display something, probably some sort of book collection or combination or something. I don't know yet. I also want to get a radiator cover for the radiator that sits underneath the window. I mean, that's kind of it. I still have not done anything with the storage cupboard, in case you're wondering. It's just a storage place right now. I've got like all of our paint buckets in there, and I've got our Christmas and Halloween decorations in there. I do have that Daily Prophet wallpaper that I want to use, but we want to get that all insulated. So that is definitely a down the road project to get that all spruced up. Ultimately, in the very distant future, we are intending to extend our house, and when we do that, we're going to have a few new rooms to deal with, and the attic will be converted. And I've already been promised that one of the spare bedrooms will be my Harry Potter room. Make it look sort of like a Gryffindor dormitory set and have all of the props set up as if you're sort of living in that world. But then on one wall, I want to do a bunch of different display cabinets like this, but dazzle them up a bit to make them look like different shop fronts on Diagon Alley or Hogsmeade, so that the appropriate props can be displayed in each shop window. So this display cabinet will become the Flourish and Blots window. So when that happens, my magical cabinet will move and I will fill in that space with more bookshelves. But that is a very distant future plan. I'm hoping by that point I might be in a position to upgrade my Ikea bookshelves to some actual bespoke bookshelves or bookcases or something. Handy husband has been in quite the woodworking mood recently, and so he would have no problem helping me out with that. But when I first built the library, he didn't have time. He didn't have all of his woodworking tools, but now he has a shed, and now he can work on all that stuff. So by that point, I should be able to upgrade my bookshelves, because I don't really want to do the whole sanding and varnishing process on any more Ikea Billy bookshelves in my life. And I would definitely need at least 2 to fit in that space. So that is very much for future Jess. Future squirrel. Anyway, if you are one of those who have followed my entire DIY library situation, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't seen it, I'll put a link to the playlist wherever it goes up here and in the description. It was fun. It's been fun. It still is fun. And if you have a library room at home that you've had some fun with, tell me about it. I love seeing what other people are doing. If I could have multiple library rooms and do them all in different themes and different decor styles, I totally would, because that's who I am. Thank you so much to my current 4,575 subscribers. And until next time, be kind, be curious, and be effective. Bye!